Hello to all you poker people out there, and welcome back to the dry and dark side of poker. I have played my first session in my 100,000 hands challenge. I played 1,059 hands, and as you can see on this little number here, I've lost $53, which is a little bit more than 2 buy-ins, so it is lucky for me that I have another 99,000 hands to look for better spots. I want to mention here that I play this challenge with 100 big blind starting stack, but when it starts to approach 200 big blinds, I go out from the table and into the table again because I want to nail down this 100 big blind stack play. Today I want to share one hand with you which really highlights 4 things in my opinion in Pot Limit Omaha. The hand is here. Let's see how it plays out. Under the gun folds, hijack opens up. I have a clear call here with double suited kings, button and small blind folds. The big blind goes ahead and squeeze, and hijack makes the call, and I make the call too. So we get to the flop with a stack to pot ratio of 2.03. And this is a very aces heavy range he squeezes with here. We can pretty much disregard aces here because that would be a clear 4-bet unless it's terrible aces. But what does the flop come with? It comes with, of course, with an ace high flop, but I flop the nut flush draw. So it doesn't look too good because if I knew that he didn't have aces but just one ace, then my king, if I turned a set, that would be good. That would give me additional equity. But the way he comes out here and he pots it kind of makes me tilt towards that he actually has the aces he is trying to represent. Then something happens that tilts me to another direction, is that hijack goes ahead and jam. So now I start to think that this guy has an ace, but he has it with a flush draw. But it would be kind of unlikely that this guy actually now has aces, as this would be the ace case, and that would be somewhat of a 5% time we get that kind of flop. What also happens is that a lot more dead money is in the pot, so even though I have to share the flush draw, but if my king out starts to be good, then I might have the equity to call it off. I have to pay $21.5 to win $75.1, and that makes it that I need 28.6% equity to stack off here. So after being in the tank, I go ahead and make the call. Big blind makes the call too, and let's take a look at what they show up with. Big blinds shows up with top 2 pair with a flush draw, and this person shows up with top pair, top kicker with a flush draw and a backdoor flush draw, and I have the nut flush draw. So as they both have hearts and this person has one of my kings out blocked, then I only have 28% equity. So I'm 0.6% equity short to stack off here, but that's hard to know when you sit here. This can look a little bit like a wild squeeze, but I shall show you that it is really not. If we go in here and take a look at the MP range, then we just note here that he should open up 22%. 0.6% of the time, and the big blind here, the nearest we can get is like the early position and cutoff, and those ranges run similar as in the hand. You're supposed to squeeze here 5% of the time. This is, by the way, pre-flop charts that's provided by the Mastermind, as well as the pre-flop helper is provided by the Mastermind. And It is a coaching site that is run by Jane Anders and his team, and I shall leave a link down in the description. If we take a look at my hand, pre-flop is clear raise first in. It is also a clear call, as we do. If we are the one who raised first in, we call free bets 100% of the time, and we call squeezes 100% of the time. I can't find information if I should call squeeze as the cold caller, but I think it's a fine call. I'm pretty sure it's a fine call. If we take a look at the big blind hand, here holds ace 9, 7, 6 double suited. He is in the big blind, and he is actually supposed to squeeze exactly versus MP and cut up 31% of the time. So he is not out of line at all. He is totally entitled to squeeze with this hand versus these two positions as the hand is played. The hijack is obviously racing first in, but what he can do a little different is he can fold to squeeze versus the blinds 43% of the time, but his call is totally fine. If we put the ranges in poker used to see about my stack of equity, then here I have put MP as a raise first in of 20%, and then I've excluded a 4-bet range of 4%, and here in the big blind I'm just giving him as a free bet percent out of position of 6%. So if we try and see we just gotta take a look here. He squeeze and we call, and we hold at this point of time 37% equity versus these two ranges before the flop. So that is fine. We get to the flop, and on this flop versus these two ranges are put in, we hold 44% of equity. So more than enough to stack off. As we talked about, I needed 28.6% equity. If I go in and give a big blind a sub range of 2 pair plus with hearts and diamonds, then we will see that he is supposed to hit this board 75% of the time, but against his range I still have 53% equity. Here with the hijack, I have given him a stack off range of top pair plus and with hearts and diamonds, and versus his range of hands, he's supposed to hit this flop 78% of the time, and I have 57% equity versus his range. So versus the ranges, my stack off isn't too bad, but against his the actual hands that they show up with, I'm not in good enough shape. But that's hard to know. But I think I played the hand fine. But the thing is, the four things I want to highlight here is this shows that Pot Limit Omaha is just a much more fun game than No Limit Hold'em. Many times 3 or more players will be incentivized to stack off and put their money into the pot pre-flop or on the flop much more often than No Limit Hold'em. And let's face it, it is the fun part of poker. That's when all the money go in. This also highlights that everyone in the hand really didn't misplay the hand. We could have played it different in certain ways, but this is kind of just played out as it did, and with this type of flop, that the kind of action have to go as it goes. So this is a kind of a setup hand where everyone plays it okay. And the third thing I want to highlight is make sure you have a healthy bankroll, so you can stand through these types of swings that Pot Limit Omaha offers you. And if you don't have a healthy bankroll, at least go into these types of situations with your eyes open and be aware that that this is the kind of swings that Pot Limit Omaha offers you. The fourth thing I think this hand's highlight is, one more time, have a healthy bankroll, because or at least go into these types of spots with your eyes open, and be willing to go broke, because if you are kind of money scared in these types of spots, that may tilt you to misplay this type of spot one way or the other. This type of low stack to pot ratio spot is one of these spots I misplayed a ton when I started out in Pot Limit Omaha, and the league I had was that I overfolded way too much in these types of spots. And through my first 100,000 hands challenge, this type of spot was one of those spots I studied the hardest to become better. But that was it for today, and I hope to see you another time, and I will wish you all the best of luck in life.